Hubbell was a rock star. Let's just say it out loud. He was a rock star. His mission of peace and beauty, saving the world, entranced almost everyone who met him. I worked with James for 30 years building the La Esperanza schools in Tijuana. He was a mentor, collaborator, guiding spirit, and steadfast friend through thick and thin, and sometimes it was very thin. And he was my number one volunteer. The immense kindness, generosity, and consideration of James and Ann truly made me feel like family. I met James Hubbell in 1990 when he was looking for a project in Tijuana to highlight the human oneness of the San Diego-Tijuana border region. I was looking for an architect to design the Jardín de Niños La Esperanza kindergarten in a highly populated, underserved, unrecognized area. Raul Romero and my friends had convinced me that the only way to resolve the conflicts surrounding the amplification of the kinder that was typical of developing communities was to introduce elements that transcended class differences and would be acceptable to all levels of society. James and I recognized that that transcendent element was art. We both became dedicated to building the world's most beautiful kindergarten in the Colonia Esperanza of Tijuana. Of course, that was easier said than done. First, my board of directors were alarmed that the mosaic-encrusted, curvilinear building style of James Hubbell would be exorbitantly expensive and gave me an ultimatum. You can have James Hubbell or you can have us. I was shocked to be forced to say adios amigos, but I chose James Hubbell. We were left without financial resources, a language barrier, and my inexperience as a construction supervisor when James wasn't present. For the first year, James was on site every Friday and Saturday, driving down from Julian Santa Isabel and bringing highly skilled, creative construction volunteers who told me, "Once you build a Hubbell structure, you'll never want to go back." They were pretty macho, and I was pretty hysterical trying to interpret watercolor paintings and a floor plan. However, because James's name and my actually being an engineer, I was able to recruit the College of Professional Civil Engineers of Tijuana, who literally tutored me into late nights on the basics of concrete construction. Long story short, James and I realized our goal. The gorgeous Jardín de Niños La Esperanza won prestigious architecture awards and brought peace to the colonia. The neighbors stopped fighting. They were enchanted with the organic architecture and campaigned for an elementary school to be built in the same style. And were even converted to the idea of volunteerism. Before these people had water, sewers, and pavement, they were into architecture. From the very beginning and for 30 years, James was amazing at recruiting and galvanizing volunteers to bring art to public places. He met volunteers on Saturdays at the H Street Trolley in Chula Vista, carpooled with them to the schools, and directed tile mosaic finish work, even though for 28 years he told me, "I'm not coming anymore." What could I do? He was a volunteer. I said, okay. After constructing 3 school buildings designed by James and 5 others in the Hubbell style, I now consider myself his number one protege for organic concrete construction. Beyond designing construction and never able to say more than muy bueno in Spanish, James helped develop the La Esperanza schools. He provided funding to launch our nutritional ecology program, promoted storylines for original children's ballets like The Little Prince and Queen Calafia, and was a huge fan of the Russian ballet teachers Valery and Tatiana Chekashev, who came over from St. Petersburg and were with us for 8 years. Seems incredible, but now 35 years later, over 5,000 children and youth have attended the beautiful Colegio and Jardín de Niños La Esperanza, while their parents and volunteers continue to join in monthly volunteer work days. I have been witness to the transformation of the community and the life changes and happiness that these Hubbell design schools have brought to so many lives. This Monday, we will start the 35th academic year of the kindergarten and elementary school, and we will also continue with the More Art Equals Less Violence free arts and music program for teens. James also spearheaded the Americas Foundation's Architecture Summer Design Build program known as La Rosa Blanca, which in true Hubbell fashion was named for the famous Jose Marti poem, Cultivo una rosa blanca. Cultivo una rosa blanca en junio como en enero para el amigo sincero. I cultivate a white rose in June as in January for the sincere friend. James's sincere and unwavering friendship is what I will miss most. He and Anne were always willing to listen to the challenge of the day and propose a course of action that never would have occurred to me. James was a true friend to me personally and dedicated his life to promoting kindness and understanding in the world. He practiced what he preached. He reminded us of our shared humanity through art, and I will be eternally grateful to him and Anne for their friendship. Thank you to James and Anne and all the alumni volunteers who gave of themselves to create peace and beauty in our region and around the world. Thank you so much.